Oh, it is, isn't it? How are you coping with lockdown?
Do you know what? I'm really actually enjoying it.
Are you? What are you doing to keep yourself positive?
So I've started working out, so that's keeping me busy. And do you know what? Having time to just relax, because coming out of the villa, I've been so busy that I've not had days like this. So I'm enjoying it while I can.
Gosh, that must be a year ago now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I
Yeah.
would actually, this time last year, I was in lockdown, and I'm in lockdown again.
I was going to ask you that because in some ways it must be very, very similar. Do you
It's
think?
quite strange because I was out sunbathing today, and I was thinking this time last year I was sunbathing in lockdown doing the same thing.
Well, obviously, we all watched you in the villa, and we absolutely loved you on Love Island. I mean, you know how passionate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you were amazing, and you know how passionate I am about female empowerment, and I
Yeah.
really think you really stood for that, and I loved how you sort of took Tom on and put him in his place
Do you
and
know what? People
take the
still say it to
nonsense.
me this day. Like, I still get questions and everything about that whole scene. And so many people have asked, like, oh, was that all set up? And it really wasn't. Like, and when I walked out, I actually didn't really hear what he said. I knew he said something. And then, yeah, I just blew up. I just blew up.
Well, we loved it. We absolutely loved it. Um, tell me about Love Island in the sense that, when you came out, and we've met a couple of times, and I know how full on it is for you, and being in the public eye, it's going to have its stressful moments, of
It's
course,
all.
but it's hard for perhaps a lot of people listening to know how really, how that has really impacted you. What would you say to that?
About, do you mean
How
about
it's,
how life has changed for
yeah,
me?
and how the
Oh my
fame and the
God.
recognition, I mean, you must have its
It's
good sides and its sort of challenging sides, I imagine.
honestly, nobody could prepare you for it. Nobody could prepare you for it. Like, you could talk to people before going in, but you're not going to expect when you come out, it's just crazy. Like, everybody knowing you, your social media, like your inbox messages, people stopping you everywhere you go. Like, those days where you might just look like absolute dog shit, but you're going to meet people. Like, you can't just go down the street looking your absolute worst, like, unless you feel comfortable like that, because people are going to stop you. They are going to ask you for photographs. The one thing that I find hard is the paps. Like, the paps through this whole lockdown, they've been outside my house every day.
Mm.
And I feel more isolated that they're there, even though like Mammy would say to me, oh, sure, what about it? Like, go for your walk or blah, 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 clear your head. But if you go for a walk to clear your head, you're not really clearing your head because they're following you. Like, and me being a girl on my own, I kind of get a bit like, oh my God, like, is it a pap? Is it not? And it can really get on top of you at times. Like, that's the one thing that.
And what would you say is the best thing that's happened to you, over the last 12 months or coming out of the villa?
Oh my God, like, I mean, working with brands like yourself, like Anne Summers, like, massive opportunities. Like, I wouldn't have expected anything like that to happen to me at all. Like, I would have dreamt of stuff like that when I was younger, and I never would have thought it would ever happen. So yeah, I just appreciate it all so much.
And you just talk about body confidence, because I think there are a lot of young girls watching that,
Yeah.
would love to know your thoughts on body confidence. We saw you looking absolutely gorgeous walking around the villa, but I'm sure even you must have your insecurities and.
I mean, like everyone, some days you feel, bloated and sluggish, and in there it is quite hard because you're in a bikini all the time. And some days, like, me and the girls, we'd be just like, oh, I just don't want to wear a bikini today. Like, I just don't feel up for it. Like, time of the month and everything. Like, you just don't
Oh
feel like
gosh.
you want that. But I think with body confidence, like, the best advice that I can give would be, don't compare yourself to others, because we all have different body shapes. Like, we're all different. We're all different sizes. So you know, you could look at a girl on Instagram and say, oh my God, I want her body. But you're never going to have that body because she's a completely different body shape to you. So you the best that you can do is just be the best version of you and just don't compare yourself to others. That's the best advice that I'd give. And obviously with Instagram as well, like, I only spoke about it there about a week ago. Like, Instagram is not real life. Like, we have all these editing tools, filters, the whole shebang. And for younger girls looking at these influencers and models, like, just remember that nobody's perfect. Like, we're all women, we all have stretch marks, we all have cellulite. Like, it can be airbrushed away. And just remember that.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing to hear you say that. And I can see at the bottom here, there's lots of amazing comments that are really inspired by what you're saying and the good, and you know, what good advice that is. But that doesn't sort of take away, does it, that there's still sort of body shaming and even trolling, you know, on Instagram and Twitter, etc.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think we can do to help combat that and put a stop to it?
I mean, I would love to know myself. Like, I can't understand how someone can get up in the morning and slate someone on social media about their looks, about their body. I can't understand it. Like, I think, especially actually being in the public eye, like, I think people forget that you're human. Like, people think celebrities can take all this abuse, but like, we all have feelings. Do you know what I mean? And we're all different. And I mean, it is awful, really. Like, and then you look at like the amount of times people say be kind, and they'll say it for like maybe 2 weeks, and then it's like all forgotten about. Like, the body shame and the abuse, everything starts back up again. And these people that are doing it are the ones hashtagging be kind, and it's a horrible world we live in, really.
It is very sad. And I think you make a very good point there. You know, we're all human beings, aren't we? And no matter what your background, you know, where you've come from, you know, I think that
and you don't know what somebody's going through either. Like that, you know, like somebody abusing somebody on social media, like, people don't understand that everyone has problems, and they could be going through a heartbreak at the moment, and then you're jumping into somebody's DMs and sending that person abuse, but you don't know what that person is going through. You know, they could have mental health problems. Like, I just think people don't think before they do it.
So the next thing I wanted to ask you is, you know, if there was one thing that you could change about yourself, I can think of 100 things actually about myself. But if there's one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be?
I am happy in myself, but if I was to change anything, which I'd never go and change it, like, because it's impossible. But I would love a bigger bum. Like, my nickname, my whole life has been long back, because I have a never-ending back, and it's not the best nickname to have. You know, it's sexy to have a big bum, but I've learned to believe now that, well, it's sexy to have a long back, and just love your assets no matter what size they are.
Isn't it funny how we think people are looking at that one we focus on?
Yeah.
And yet they're not at all. But no, it's great to hear that you're human like we are as well.
Oh, now, God, yeah.
Obviously, I've got to ask you this question because of what I do. And you know, so many women say to me, you know, how can I be confident in the bedroom? Because I think that's the place where we are even more conscious about what's going on. You know, so many women say, you know, I'm not sure I'm slim enough. I'm not sure I'm the right shape. I'm not sure
I'm doing anything correct.
Oh, my boobs are big enough, or my boobs are small enough, or my legs are long enough. You know, I think we just get ourselves paranoid, and like you say, you know, are we doing it the right way? Are we, you know, what is
am I impressing him or her? Like, we do all have these things in our head, and especially if you want to impress someone. Do you know what I would say? This is probably not the best thing to say, but I think the best thing to do in that situation, like if you really want to impress a guy and you are a bit shy and you're like, oh God, like I don't want him staring at me, I'm a bit insecure, blah, 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 blindfold him, or her for that matter if you're a guy. And then when he's blindfolded, you become more confident. Like,
oh, interesting.
That's actually, I've done it. I've actually done this. I think it's the best thing to do. And like, then at least, like, when you're with that guy, he's gonna love it, or her, like, because it's exciting. And then you get to build up your confidence. And
yeah.
it'll work.
And the irony is that it's your confidence that actually makes you sexy, isn't it? It's not about what you look about.
Exactly. So even if you pretend you're confident, you're going to come across confident. Even though you could be dying inside going, oh my God. But if you act confident and if you are confident, that's the best thing.
Tell me about, what have you enjoyed doing while you've been working for Ann Summers? What have you enjoyed the most?
Oh my God. Do I have to choose? I mean, every single shoot that I've done, like, ye have went far and beyond to like make my shoot days so amazing.
Oh.
I mean, the lingerie, I feel amazing in the lingerie, and then I'm still speechless bringing out my own swimwear collection. I mean, that's literally a dream come true for me, and I absolutely love all the pieces. It's just, I still actually pinch myself because I'm like, is this actually real? Even seeing my picture on the little Ann Summers cards, like, I'm like, this is just insane. And my face on the windows, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I've just loved every single minute of it.
And every time I open the paper, I see a picture of you, Maura. I mean, that feels surreal for you.
It is crazy. I have to say, it is crazy.
And what Ann Summers product gives you fanny flutters?
Oh, so many. But if I was to choose one, it would be the Fiercely Sexy. Like, that bra, I mean, you've seen, I wore it out in LA. I wore it out as a top because I was like, you know what? I just feel incredible in this bra. And then transferring it into swimwear. Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. And, watching you, we got together, didn't we, when you were doing the swimwear, and you look absolutely amazing in it. Absolutely.
Oh, I absolutely love the shoot days. I love them.
Maura, there's a lot of young girls watching you today, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but I think it's really important. What advice would you give to young girls that are watching you and looking up to you?
The best advice is be yourself. Don't let anybody bring you down. Stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Love yourself. Try your best to be confident in your own skin. And yeah, just love yourself. And like, for all those girls getting trolled online, ignore it. Just remember that not everybody's gonna love you. Like, that we all have different opinions. Like, everyone is so different, and you are going to get abused, especially being on social media these days. Like, I dread the day I have children and they go on social media, to be quite honest. But ignore the bullies, ignore the trolls. Don't let them get in on you. Be strong. Talk to people, family, friends. Like, don't go inside your own shell. Speak out.
That's why we absolutely love you so much. And
I love you too. Mwah.